My name is Hector Pinkney from the Dojo Community Project. I'm classed as Mr. Handsworth MBE.
My name is Sybil Spence, one of the local councillors for the Soho ward. Ever since I've been in Handsworth, when I first came, it was different to now. Now, Handsworth is very multicultural, many different cultures, and we all get on well together, and that's a very good thing. If you notice, when there's carnival, or when there's Eid, or when there is Vasaki, we all jump on the bandwagon and had a good time. So, and we eat one another's food, so we get on very well. Multiculturalism of this city is awesome, and we love it.
Yeah, it's all changed because I remember I was about 11 years old at the time when I arrived. Everything here was white. You know what I'm saying? I've got to tell it like it is because everything here was white over there. Over the years we have developed from a white area to Afro-Caribbean, Asian. It's a mixture now, it's a diverse area now. So with the diversity that's coming into the area, we're expecting to see changes to be made to suit everybody, you know what I'm saying?
I think the community, the makeup of the communities is kind of changed because of it was mainly Asian and African Caribbean people living in Handsworth. A lot of the people have moved out. So you've seen like the different communities, a lot of Polish and Somalian communities have moved into the area, and it's kind of changed a lot.
Changes that we've seen in Handsworth, and we'll talk about the first community house, so to speak, that was in Handsworth. This was done by my parents, Vincent and Mavis Pinkney of 68 Leonard Road. They opened up their house to accommodate everyone that was coming in, not just from the Caribbean, but anyone who chooses to pass. Now, following my parents' demise, Hector, my brother, MBE, has tried to keep the community together in the sense that he does basically everything. He tries his level best, whether it's running, whether it's keeping the seniors active, whatever it is he tries to do. He tries to help others and ensure that we have what they call unity within our community.
Well, I grew up in, Perry Bar Handsworth, borderline of Perry Bar Handsworth I grew up, but I spent a lot of time in Handsworth, worked in Handsworth. My memories of Handsworth growing up, of how it's changed from now, is there was a lot more things to do. I remember growing up, there's a lot of youth centres and stuff like that I noticed you don't have those kind of things now. We used to have like Boys Brigade, and everybody used to go Boys Brigade, and we had community centres. There was like a lot of opportunities, like especially for the youths growing up, where I realised a lot of that you don't really have it as much now. There is like youth projects for youths, but not as many like community centres. Like we used to have Newtown Community Centre. They used to have Weld, which was on, I think it was Wilson Road in Handsworth, where they used to do like youth projects. They used to have youth dances, youth clubs. They used to have like table tennis and stuff like that, where the youths used to get together. Down in Perry Bar and Birchtree Road, you had the United Youth Centre that we used to be like based there. So from I was about 14, we had a recording studio, so I actually learned music production and all of that there. And we had like games machines and dominoes. They did karate, African dance, African drumming, everything happened there. And I remember that was like in the mid 80s. That ran up until about 87, 88. Before that, the Handsworth Cultural Centre that was on the corner of Wellington Road and Hampstead Road, where they used to do like similar things. It was African dance, African drumming. They had another recording studio in their Delcast studio. I'm trying can't think what else they've really done there, but there's a lot of other opportunities.
Well, the overall buildings of Handsworth, we used to have, like the Muhammad Ali Centre was built for a certain reason. That was built out of my mother's house, you know what I mean? The Afro-Caribbean Self-Help Organization was built out of my mother's house. That is now 104 Retrieval Road. I am part of that system where we fight was to make a better community for our people. But with the struggles of the young people now, they don't know whether they're coming or going, even though they're born here. They don't know whether they want to stop in Handsworth or they want to move out of Handsworth. So what we want them to do is not to move out, but try to make it a more pleasurable place for them to be. Because it's really a nice area, it's a rich area. Because if it wasn't rich, then there wouldn't be certain things happening in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. What do you want to see change?
I want everything to change. I've noticed that up at West Bromwich. West Bromwich was one of those areas that was rough, but now it's gone boom, and now this is called the A41, and if we can't make the A41, which is two links to two motorways, which is M5 and M6, and every day people pass through Handsworth, and all they do is remember riots. We don't want to hear nothing about riots anymore. You get what I'm saying? Hold it. We don't want to hear about the riots no more. We want to see changes been made for the young people to be able to have something to say, well, we were born in Handsworth, we love Handsworth, we don't want to move out of Handsworth. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when we first came, Soho Road was like the city centre. There were so many wonderful stores and shops on the road, the Soho Road. You could get anything you want on Soho Road. You wouldn't have to go into town. But over the time, they are sold out and different people bought them and bring different culturalism to the shops. So we still get what we want on the Soho Road. But sometimes you have to go into town to get some of the things that you would need because they don't stock it on the Soho Road.
Now, with this place here, this used to be one of the supermarkets on Soho Road that everybody used to come and shop, which was called Soho Supermarket. The people have got fed up, so they just give up and they decided to go. Oh my God! Now you're talking the shopping, because I used to have to carry the trolley, you know, and the shopping bags and stuff like that with my mum holding onto my hand and saying, come on, we're going up Soho Road, we're going up to the market, we're going up to Woolworths, we're going up to Burton's, we're going up to John Collier, with all the names, the big names that was around in them days. They were all on Soho Road. And with Walter Smith, you know, if you go up to Walter Smith, the shop up the road, it was where everybody used to get their meat from back in the days. You know, it was really nice.
You miss the shoe shop, butchers and the clothes shop. Yes, sir.
There's always opportunity in Handsworth. It depends on who opens the doors. When you see a car like this on Soho Road, you know what I mean? You would think that in Knightsbridge in London, this is the only way you'd see that, but at least you can see it on Soho Road. You get what we're saying? And if you was to stop and talk to anybody on this road and ask them who is who and what is what, a lot of people know each other back in the day, so they could stop and give themselves 5-10 minutes to talk.
Going to school, my school was predominantly black and Asian, and we didn't really, when growing up we were learning about other cultures, and there was a little bit of discrimination, well, you know, I mean, different cultures you're learning about. But I remember my road that I grew up on was a small road, there's only 17 houses on there, and it was just black and white families on there, and most of the white families moved out, and when they moved out it was Asian families moved in. And I remember the first Asian family that moved in, like, were really small, and they used to bring their kids over to our house so they could go and do their shopping, and my little brothers used to go over their house and play, and there was no kind of discrimination or anything like that. It wasn't until I got much older I started to see discrimination, but young growing up we didn't see that at all.
Well, I don't know how long I will be around in Handsworth for, because I'm getting on in age, but in the meantime, between time, what we're looking at is to try to make sure that everybody gets a piece of the pie in Handsworth, because Handsworth is a beautiful place.
My mother died when I was 5 years of age. I came to this country. When I was 17 years of age in my little island of St. Kitts, I self-employed. I run in a tailor shop. They call me schoolboy tailor. I went to Africa for Dudley Council with a steel band. Then I come back to this that I know as a tailor. I built the first costume for Birmingham Carnival. And right now I'm telling you that when it comes to small decorated costume, we build the best small decorated costume in the country. We the first that decorate boots in the country. We the first that decorate ladies' bra in the country. I will show you them sooner or later.
Yes.
Now this is the headpiece, but I took the crown off. But what I'm going to do with this now, I'm going to put this in, build it very big. That's the reason why you see those two boxes outside. You see two things outside there? You put it there? It's a fiberglass stuff of building. Yeah? To add to this. And this going to make a big costume. What going to really happen with it, you might find this all up there. Then I work something come out down to the body. Yeah? And at the same time, you make a prop to go over the person's shoulder, a harness, to keep this up. I built costume 85, but I dance in the 84 carnival. I'm the only one had on a costume because I dressed up in my magic costume. Got a ball of float all over the place. You understand, me and my assistant. And then the following year, they set up a committee, proper committee, and they called me. And as a tailor, I took it on and built the first costume, cats. Cats is the first group we put on, a troop of cats. The second year we put on a troop of witches. You just in this long hat and this thing and boom and thing and so on. Yeah? And we start from nothing until we reach to the standard. But this is the last one. We put this in a competition in Leeds.
Yeah.
With all those other faces. We call this new faces. Just look to, this is the front. But the back look the same way. We decorate the back and the front the same way. Nothing odd. Yeah? So, Carnival, all of the girls them here. Nicole, she's the teacher. Melissa, she's a teacher. Beverly, she's a nurse. You know, the girls them that come here because you can motivation.
There's good and bad in everything. So everywhere you go, there is going to be good and bad. Handsworth hasn't got such a bad reputation now, I think, as it did. It used to have a lot of trouble, a lot of things used to happen. You had the riots and all of that, but a lot of the communities that were there, they've all moved out. So, and it's a complete different new set of communities that are there. So I don't think Handsworth is such a bad place as made out. There's good and bad in everything. So everywhere you go, there is going to be good and bad. Handsworth hasn't got such a bad reputation now, I think, as it did. It used to have a lot of trouble, a lot of things used to happen. You had the riots and all of that, but a lot of the communities that were there, they've all moved out. So, and it's a complete different new set of communities that are there. So I don't think Handsworth is such a bad place as made out.
Black man in Handsworth always try to be cool. That's the golden rule. Don't be a fool. Go to college to get knowledge. Go to school to learn the rule. Don't end up in prison, you eat the porridge.